She did work extremely hard, well understood, and put forth the effort, and even up until the last minute, they made it happen for themselves. I'm extremely proud of you, and I want you to know I celebrate along with your family, your friends, and the Manor ISD family. Congratulating you today. At this time, would you still stand for our Pledge of Allegiance? Honoring of the Texas flag by our senior class president, Andrea Sanchez.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Would you please give it up for our senior class president, Ms. Andrea Sanchez? Would you please welcome to the stage our own senior, Mr. David Rahman, as he sings the Star Spangled Banner.
The dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
At this time, it is my esteemed privilege to honor those who grace the stage. First and foremost, I would like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Royce Avery, Dr. Brian Yearwood, Assistant Superintendent of Academic and Accountability. In his absence, Dr. Scott Mosier, Assistant Superintendent of Operations, along with our esteemed Board of Trustees, starting with our Board President, Mr. Elmer Fisher, Board Vice President, Mrs. Monique Celadon, Board Secretary, Mr. Johnny Velasco, Board Trustee, Ms. Anna Cortez, Board Trustee, Ms. Janie Cerna, Board Trustee, Mr. Sam Samaripa, and Board Trustee, Ms. Tamika Thomas. I would also like to recognize and thank the Manor Independent School District's executive cabinet members, as well as cabinet members. Let's give it up for them. I would also like to recognize the distinguished members of our talented faculty and staff that are here with us today. If you are a member of the Manor Independent School District staff, please stand at this time. And please remain standing. Oh, give it up, students, for the faculty and staff. Also on the stage with me, I would like to give a special acknowledgement to the principals of Manor High School, Mr. John Bailey, principal of Manor Early College, Dr. Sadakova, and we both, all three of us, have the bomb.com assistant principals and counseling department. Would you please stand as well? At this time, it is my honor and my pleasure to introduce to you the valedictorian and the salutatorian of the class of 2019. At this time, would Miss Holly Wynn please come to the stage?
So about that speech, can I turn that in late? You know, I don't think I would have fit at New Tech as much as I thought it would. You see, in my freshman year, I was being a crybaby over my mom ruining my life because apparently over there, they had higher expectations and are more challenging to encourage growth. Real nerdy, right? I get it. But the truth is, and would you believe me? Manor did it. Manor made me belong. Manor gave me a home to return to. Manor made me the person I am today. Could I believe it? So this is a story of how I used to explore the school grounds. How I used to sleep in the hallways, gym bleachers, and in the packed during presentations. And when Melissa turned around, she could see my body slipping down the chair and my head jerked to the side. This is the story of how Miss Hoyle was a genius who kindled the fire. How Levi and I used to always complain to Miss Ramos about being lab partners because we apparently hated each other or something. How I owned Kahoot in Mr. Fisher's class. How Mr. Peacock never failed to crack a pun. How Mr. Nav was right about my poor time management. And he made me cry. But you know, he still acknowledged my unrelenting effort. This is a story of how I sent Mr. Martinez an essay about how he should care about my grades. This is a story of how I stood at my teacher's grace. You know what's funny? Back then, when I used to waste my time reformatting biology documents before I could work on them, I thought to myself, maybe not now. Maybe I'm not good with time management now, but hopefully, in the future, by the time I graduate, I will be better. But look at me now. Till this day, I'm still running corners trying to find teachers. On the very last week of my senior year, of my high school career, I'm still scrambling to get all my work done. Some of you may think, of course I'm salutatorian. Look at me. I wear glasses, I look intelligent, maybe I planned my life all the way to retirement. Do you really think so? Believe it or not, in my entire academic career, I have never, ever won first place in anything. And I'm like, why? Oh, come on. I was this close, this close. Wow. So why am I standing before you all today? Why am I here? I think it's fate. Now, before you call me delusional, think of it this way. I was valedictorian, or not valedictorian, yeah. I was ranked 1 for the longest. And then 3 weeks before graduation, I dropped down 2nd. Regardless of the reason, I want you guys to capture the lesson here. Even I slip up here and there. Even I make mistakes. Even I can get into trouble. We're all imperfect, but we gotta accept that and take it to our advantage. I want you all to recognize how significant each one of you are, especially to my life. So all right, I admit it. You're much more intelligent than me, Dekeandric. And so is Neil, Levi, Andrea, or whoever you want to place above me. But in the same sense, some of you could beat me in car mechanics. What do I know about fixing cars? I just drive. Tell me how some of you can sing so high, only dolphins can understand you. Darian, tell me how my athletic strength is only a fraction of what you're capable of. Life's unpredictable. A lot of things happen. But there's one thing that still remains true. You, yes you, have potential. And none of your shortcomings can come close to defining who you are and who you will be in the future. Take me and Neil, for example. One is a procrastinator and turns work in fashionably late, and the other is organized and turns work in a timely manner.
Hello. Woo! I'm not as memorized as her. I need my notes. So, hi, I'm Neo. I'm supposedly the organized and sophisticated one. But you know what? I've made bad choices too. And I plan to make many more mistakes and profoundly fail in the future. And I choose not to be defined by these failures and mistakes, but rather let them inform me. Look upon your own past and realize all the choices you made to get here. Buying a car, skipping class, having a job, and going to school, playing video games all night. So many small decisions each day. Some of them ending in failures, and some of them turning out well. Wasn't it overwhelmingly difficult to figure out those right choices? Especially when the people you cared about so much were involved? You strove not to let them down, but you also wanted to forge your own way and make your own decisions. So the world became as you chose to define it. You chose to be here today. You chose to graduate today. Give it up for yourself. You know what I say? I say let's not let our past choices restrict the choices that we can make today. Right? We all live in the now and are not bound by previous circumstances, labels, the ideas that others have placed upon you. We all have choice. And you know what? Holly and I made a choice to give this speech together. We made it yesterday. Oh, how all these choices that we've made. So now I choose to give it back over to Holly and the rest of her brilliant speech.
You're gonna have to go that way 'cause the door's over here.
Shall we lie down?
Next to each other? Okay. Okay. And when our decisions, well, sometimes our decisions do not end well. So we just fall. Maybe there was a reason, maybe there was not. But we just do not feel good. And the little monsters are crawling out of our head. They're so evil, aren't they? Now we want to cry. We want to be alone. We want to sleep forever and never wake up. I forgot. It's too difficult. It's too embarrassing. It's too frustrating.
So just leave me be.
So just leave me be and forget about me. But high school, My Little Pony taught me something. And I'll say it over and over again. Friendship is magic. Because when I'm down, I have Melissa to pull me out of the darkness.
Keep going.
And when I'm alone, I have Shayla to fight alongside me.
Where is she? Oh, keep going.
And when I'm lost, I have Immaculate to slap me to my senses. We can be so silly sometimes. The answer is just right there. So I'm gonna stand. We're gonna stand. Confidently, like Isaac.
Fierce, like Jennifer.
Gracefully, like Precious.
Come on, get ready. Loyally, like Paula.
Resilient, like Asuka. We're gonna laugh a little too hard, like Marlene.
I'm gonna listen patiently, like Antonio.
And I'm gonna scream at the top of my lungs, like Kiana. And Litzy, you drive me insane. Why do you always have to do the opposite of what I want you to do? Why do you always have to get on my nerves? Why do you always have so much to say? Because right now, I'm gonna miss listening to your voice. I'm gonna miss the combustion of our words as your witty color show, just because you have better diction. I'm gonna miss giggling in college algebra to jokes no one seems to appreciate. I'm gonna miss you sharing the world with me. Yeah. I'm gonna miss her voice echoing throughout that next bus as the night carried on 3 years ago. I'm gonna miss awkwardly wanting to greet Mr. Gloria. I'm gonna miss Mr. Wesley picking on me for no good reason. I'm gonna miss hiding in Miss P's office. I'm gonna miss being in this auditorium with everyone here to warm me up inside. Come here.
Thank yous really quick. Thank yous. Thank you, Holly, for your speech. And for capturing our experience in high school with your heartfelt speech. Holly's passion, intellect, quirkiness, determination, and wit is likely unrivaled by most, including myself. The genuine nature of her words deserve their spot in its entirety, at least to me. Thank you to all my teachers who taught me all I know and who gave more to me than I could ever repay to them, and without whom I would not be standing here today. Thank you to all the teachers who truly care about their students. Thank you to Mr. Gloria, the voice of wisdom for any struggle.
The man who might still have questions about my personality.
To Mr. Wesley, the weird English professor who you could talk to about space or even your own existential crisis.
Thank you for trying to ruin my grade.
Thank you to Miss Tolles, who reminds me of sadness from inside out, but who has a heart mighty enough to care for her students like no other.
She also has a very contagious voice and laugh.
Thank you to Mr. Whaley, my quirky forensic science teacher who had a story for every lesson.
We actually enjoyed those stories.
Thank you to Mr. Fisher for teaching me about Boyle's law and covalent bonds and conjugate acids and bases and chemistry, blah, 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 blah. But most importantly, for teaching me to believe in myself as he should believe in himself.
And for his sticky notes of kindness at the end of the year. I guess he really does care.
Thank you to Miss Runnels, who taught me how to make a triangle arrangement and believed that I could become florally certified.
And for making me comfortable in a place that was so foreign to me.
Thank you to Mr. Nav for sticking with us juniors even though we weren't always the best to him, and who helped me realize I want to major in biology and not mathematics. I hate freak out.
And even though you were right most of the time, and I would get upset, you taught me a lot, Mr. Nav, and thank you for being so patient with me.
Thank you to Miss Pinjay, who dealt with me as a lazy sophomore, but still pushed me to use the most of my time.
And for reading my volumes of last-minute essays.
Thank you to our early college counselor, Miss Latoya P., who always let us into her office to drive her crazy and to hear our woes.
I remember when she used to always chase me around school when I went missing during meetings. Okay. We love you so much. Wait. Thank you, Miss Osborne, who formed a stable foundation for Manor Early College for many years to come.
Thank you to our early college principal, Dr. Sadikova, who I must admit I was apprehensive towards in the beginning of my senior year. because she was the new principal with new ways. But as time went on, I realized just how much she cared and was committed to the students, to all of us that she took under our wing. Thank you to my parents, Robert and Connie Molina, and my family, who had patience with me even when I could have had more patience with them. Thank you to my 3 elementary friends who are still here today. Levi Perez, the future movie director. Remember when we would go to Galveston? Huh? Keandrick Whitley, the future electrical engineer. Remember how in 2nd grade you got to play on the computer because you knew how to multiply and divide? Thank you to Gilbert Paulos, the future pipeline welder. Remember when we would stay up till 4 a.m. playing Minecraft? Woo. Thank you to my friend Rosa Diaz, who hugged me and comforted me when I needed it most. Thank you to my friend Sam, who made me feel okay to cry and express myself in front of him. Thank you to all the people who put in so much unrecognized effort that impacted our success here today so greatly. To all the parents, loved ones, and supporters of our graduates tonight, thank you to Dr. Avery and all the administration for allowing us to speak today. Without them, Manor ISD would not be as innovative and impactful on their students. Thank you. Thank you to each and every Manor ISD board member and everyone else who sits behind me. I may not know each and every one of you, but I feel your impact every single day I go to school. Every single day. Without you, all of us could not have been here. Thank you. We dearly appreciate you all. Thank you for all you do for us, and we will miss you.
Give it up for our Val and Sal. Give it up. Come back, guys, come back. Just when y'all thought it was over. Dr. Avery, Board President Mr. Fisher, would you please grace the podium with me? At this time, I would like to present for the class of 2019, our salutatorian, Ms. Holly Wynn. And for the class of 2019, valedictorian award goes to Mr. Neo Molina. At this time, would you welcome back to the podium our 2019 class president, Ms. Andrea Sanchez, for our greetings.
All right, can we give it up for Holly and Neo? All right, now for the part I don't have to do from memory. What's up, class of 2019? Okay. It is with great pleasure that I stand here before you. I welcome friends, family, and staff, and those coming to the realization that we have a class president. Yeah, and as class president, I kind of have to give this speech, so y'all bear with me. Looking back at freshman year, it is evident how much we have grown as individuals. I remember walking in with my brand new outfit. The Manor middle kids were excited to meet the Decker kids and prove which one was better. On the first day of school, first day of high school, I had on a little tank top, which at the time I thought was cute. It wasn't. And upon arriving at school, I found out I didn't have a schedule. I sat in the library for hours, to the point I had to get up because my butt was going numb. When I finally got my schedule, it was fourth period. I walked into my health science class, and I was legitimately the only freshman there, surrounded by upperclassmen staring at their phones. I signed in, I sat down, and I cried in silence. That was the first of many breakdowns I had during my high school experience. I'm sure many of y'all can relate. But yet, here we are, 4 years later, the last day of high school. We made it. And I can't help but realize the resilience of the class of 2019. I mean, we made it through like what, 6 principals? My boy Emilio Vargas III, Dr. Brooks, Mr. Bailey, Dr. Aceves, a stand-in, and finally Mr. Matthews. We made it through 2 food fights. Getting the yogurt off my shoes was a pain. We made it through a lockdown because there was like 7 fights in one day and 2 people fell from the ceiling. I swear we had KXAN news on campus 24/7. We survived an eclipse and a hurricane on the same week junior year. We survived creepy clowns, Ebola, and Pokemon Go. Think about all the trends we went through. Dabbing, the whip, the whoa. You know, I wonder what happened to Daniel with the white Vans. And did we ever come to a conclusion on whether the dress was white and gold or blue and black? It was blue and black. I want to congratulate you all. Graduating high school is no small feat. The fact that we all made it here is a testament to our perseverance and commitment to ourselves. We all have our own definition of success, and we ought to respect the 400 plus different versions present in the room. Whether you plan on going to college, technical school, the military, or the workforce, I beg you, do what makes you happy. Life only gets harder, but graduating tonight is the first step to what I'm sure are great things to come. I thank you and congratulate you for taking that step. I want to take this moment to say thank you to my parents who sacrificed so much for my well-being. Ma, pa, los quiero mucho. I want to thank my brother for he didn't do much, but he's cool or whatever. I'd like to thank my tia Letty, who 10 years ago made me promise that I would mention her in my graduating speech. Thank you, Claudia, for being such a big supporter. Thank you to the teachers and staff who encouraged me to use my talents, for pushing me to be better in the classroom and in life, and for lending a helping hand whenever they could. Thank you to all the friends I made along the way for the amazing moments we shared. I love you guys. To the early college program, for not only challenging me academically, but giving me a second family. One that watches out for each other. One that made my high school experience so special and worthwhile and gave me so much to reminisce on. The hilarious skits in Wesley's, Starbucks study sessions, baking bread as an assignment, messaging through Google Docs in the wee hours of the night. Thank you for giving me something that's so hard to say goodbye to. I'm thankful for the bad times that taught me valuable lessons, showed me to water my grass and not check if anyone else's is greener, to take a chance, to accept my mistakes, and to cut myself some slack. Finally, I'd like to commemorate Autumn Smith and all the others we lost along the way. Guys, it's the end of an era. Some of you I will probably never see again. Some I will see at Walmart tomorrow. The point is, here on out, it's up to us. Be the best version of yourself. Be kind and be courageous. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Before our special treat, and it is truly special, I would be remiss if I didn't identify those who have helped our students along the way. We have additional distinguished guests on our stage that I would like to acknowledge. Our elementary principals, would you please stand? Our middle school principals, would you please stand? Our executive directors and directors, would you please stand? Our class sponsors, would you please stand? And our criers who will be calling your names in just a few minutes, would you please stand? Would you give it up for all of our dignitaries and our distinguished guests? Finally, before we have our special treat, would you please give it up to the young lady who takes care of you day in and day out and makes things happen in our front office, the best executive assistant any principal could have, Miss Teresa Alariano. Would you give it up for her, please? At this time, would Miss Kyra McGruger please come to this podium at this time?
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move, mountains, we gon' walk it out and move. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. And I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. And I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, I know you feel like dying. Promise we'll take the world to its feet and move. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up high like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. And I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. And I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We will rise, we'll rise, we'll rise. and we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up high like the waves, and I'll rise up in spite of the ache, and I'll rise up, but we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. We'll rise 1,000 times again. We'll rise.
Can y'all give it up one more time for Miss Kaya McGruger? At this time, we would like to take out this moment to go down memory lane for the class of 2019 with a video created by our own seniors, Cameron Braxton and Miss Litzy Valdez.
This year was one of change, growth, and more importantly, we paved the way for others. This year changed everything, from athletics to academics to fine arts. We went to the state playoffs together, we won competitions together, and set new school records together. Remember everything that happened this year. Carry the memory of your senior year with pride. The future is bright for us. From going off to college, joining the United States Armed Forces, or going off to join the workforce. Remember your family here in little old Manor, Texas.
Fair enough? Appreciate you guys. There's the bell.
We will always be first class.